Good morning, everybody. We got little Miss Annie in the house. This is Richard back at you. We got Miss Teresa on the camera again, the best in the world. We got Randy's '03 Dodge in the house from Pampa. It come in, he said, with no second gear. He dropped the pan, found the intermediate band struts laying in the bottom of the pan. Now this tranny, the truck's got 210,000 miles on it. It's on its second tranny, I believe. Now, they shipped their tranny to them. They shipped another one back, so it doesn't have the existing tranny that come out in the truck in the vehicle. So we didn't really know how to order the parts because it's a mid-year truck. It's an '03. It's a 10-2 of '03.
10 of '02.
Yeah. So it's that split year thing there where they went to throttle by wire or they got a TV cable. So we're going to run a computer check on it first, see if it's got any codes. I think that's the best option to go first.
Yeah, and he sold this truck to his son, and
Did
his
he?
son was pulling a trailer with the drift car. Remember?
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's had a trailer
And he
on it
told
for a
him-
long time.
Yeah. He told him never get rid of that truck because he wanted to buy it back if he ever did, and he did. So.
Bought it back.
Yep.
Now I noticed he did tell me that he did race this truck a lot. It's got a manual lockup switch on the torque converter where he can lock the torque converter up in second gear. So that possibly is what could have took out the band too, because I believe he said this truck made over 600 horsepower.
Oh, it's got a Smarty tuner.
Smarter tuner. I mean, there's no telling what all they got on these trucks. These Cummins make so much torque that they'll just tear up a lot of things. So we got a 2003. We're going to scroll down. Let me back up here. First of all, we want to click scanner. Then we're going to go down here to Dodge. Got a Dodge. Then this is a 2003. If you click on something wrong, this scanner will tell you that you put the wrong year in it.
Information. Yeah.
So we got a automatic ID. Turn the key all the way on. Hit your automatic ID right there. We're not going to put the VIN, license plates, or anything in there right now. We're going to just push OK. And then we're going to come in here. We'll go to let's go to engine first and see if we got any codes. Auto trans with AC. We want to look at codes. Codes only. Okay. It says ECM/PCM power supply intermittent. Air intake heater relay circuit 1 low, and then fuel lever sensor performance fault. So we do have some codes in here. One of them could possibly affect the tranny, the ECM power supply intermittent. That's not a good code to have. So we can kind of go back. Let's, excuse me, get out of there. Let's go back one more time. Let's go to transmissions this time. Auto, AC. We're going to look for codes. Codes only. No codes in the transmission. So we're good there. That's what I like to see on that part of it. So we'll just power off there. Turn the scanner off. Turn the key off. And then since we're going to lift it up and it's going to stay up, I'm going to go ahead and block the hood up. Open the hood real quick. It's already open. I like to use these shock stops. See if it'll stay there. Okay, it's going to stay there. I'm not going to need to use it, but I like to keep the hood open, a little bit of airflow under the truck. Helps it just a little bit. So we're going to get the pan off here real quick. I like to pull the dipstick out.
What's the fluid
Checker.
look like?
Now he had the pan
did
off, I
service
believe,
it,
so
yeah.
it doesn't look that bad.
No.
Gonna set it up on there. We just put a new back door in the shop, give us some air flowing through there.
You think they can hear you with that running?
I bet they can. We just put a new door in the back of the shop, so we got some air flowing through. So we like that. And he kind of runs from the lift noise. I got my locks on my lift where I can hear them all separately. That way I can count 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That way I know instead of just all of them hitting at the same time, then you really can't count them. I like to hear them. Okay.
And I tell you, all I could see is this. I hope everybody could hear you because I saw that.
They could hear me.
That's about it.
I don't have my flashlight on me right now. Looks like they've done a lot of work under this truck. Looks like they put some new U-joints in the front axles there on both sides. Looks like they got brand new U-joints there.
I can actually see pretty good, babe.
You see pretty good without the flashlight? That's good. Now you've noticed back here on the yoke, it looks like they probably put a new yoke, but it does have a dripping on the yoke right here. So it could be coming through the weep hole on the yoke. Kind of weird. The yoke looks kind of new, but the weight looks old on it. So, and I don't think you can press these weights back on this yoke because it's mounted in rubber. It does look like it's got a new seal on it. Now we like to use dealer only seals on these transfer cases. A lot of aftermarkets, we put them in there and they leak anyway. And you could see here how the fluid's washed off the dirt on underneath the truck right there.
Well, and there's a little paper towel right there. Where
Yeah. You can tell here they must have just serviced it, the transfer case. So you can see the sealant on the threads. U-joint's been replaced. It's got a grease-zert. I kind of like to use the solid U-joints instead of the grease-zert style because something making this kind of power, pulling heavy loads, you can break these hollow U-joints with grease-zerts in them. So I like to use the solid ones on both ends on there. You can see here they did service the transfer case. The thread's got some type of sealant on it. See that? And it does look like the pan's been off. Now this is a detent cable style. It is not a throttle by wire. It's got physically a detent cable up here. Throttle by wire would have electric motor and the passenger cable would be gone. The TV cable would be gone. So got our output speed sensor here. Cooler lines don't seem to be leaking. We're going to look at them really good because a lot of these trucks, we have to replace the cooler lines on because they just, all of them seem to be leaking. Really hard to get to, so get this pan off. Hopefully he put the anchors back in the pan. I don't remember if he tried to hook it back up or what he said.
I don't think he could.
I think he did.
I don't think he could.
Now he did say the adjuster nut is at the very end of the adjuster, so I gotta watch that fan back there. It'll blow that stuff around.
Yeah, we're gonna get back here.
Don't want to make a mess on the floor.
We sure don't.
Yeah, the shoulder, I was gonna say elbow. My shoulder's doing good, but Teresa's elbow's doing terrible. She hurt her elbow helping me pick up a lot of metal and stuff when we were putting everything together, and she had an injection in her elbow yesterday. I think maybe the tendon's torn, so she's kind of limping it around today, and I'm limping my shoulder around today. So, okay, I'm gonna try to grab this. That's pretty heavy for me. Seriously.
Well, yeah. Are you crazy?
I wasn't expecting it to be that heavy.
Really? And you've been doing this how
I went to
long?
therapy this morning too, so my shoulder's a little weak. They've been putting me through the paces in therapy. Okay, so he did put the anchors or the struts back up there for the band. But you notice when he said he's got it adjusted and you can still stick your finger in here. You can see how loose that is. Actually, I think it just fell off, no? So the band's plumb wore out. Then you have your reverse band back here. So we're really not a lot of trash in the pan, if any at all. That's really good. So hopefully there won't be any damage on the inside. Now this training was done back in 2006. I don't know the mileage that it had on it back then, but
Think you made a mess still?
yeah, I made a mess, but I mop it every time I get done with
I
these.
know. I'm
mop
glad
that
that
floor
I
up
wasn't
really good.
standing close.
So guys, what we're gonna do, we're gonna get this tranny out really quick and get it on the bench, and then I will see if Miss Teresa will come out later on today in the 108-degree weather and do a video of tearing this wonderful transmission down. Huh, Teresa? Is it happening? I'll wait till it gets dark. How's that sound?
Yeah, there you
A
go.
little cooler, because I think it's supposed to be 106 to 108 today here in Amarillo, Texas, so it's definitely going to be hot.
And it's been hot every day as far as that goes.
Now this tranny, he did tell me it's got a billet input shaft, a billet intermediate shaft, triple disc converter already in it, and hopefully a billet flywheel making 600 horsepower. I'm sure it does, because the stock one probably would have broke at 450. We've already been through that for sure.
No doubt.
So we're really excited to get it apart and see if there's any wear on these billet parts, because believe it or not, billet parts wear out too. Just because you got billet, you got to remember 2006, that's a long time, heavy truck pulling a lot of trailers. We could have a lot of wear on the billet input shafts and splines and stuff too. So we've got parts coming in already this morning.
Oh, yeah, you want to show
Got a
me?
few more parts coming in the morning. I just wanted to get the tranny apart because we don't know what year it is. You know, it's not the original tranny, so I could take this thing apart. It could have aluminum planet in the rear, a steel planet in the rear. It could have, if it has aluminum, it has no thrust washers on the back. I mean, there's a lot of different variations in that 02 to 03 model right there when they start changing them up. So, well, hey, don't forget to subscribe, push the notification bell. Miss Teresa's always on the camera, and Annie, she's always hanging out, guys. So y'all stay tuned. We got plenty more to come. Have a great day.